Quick question.
Hey.
Have you ever looked at a GPU box and thought bigger number equals better and wondered why that 40 series laptop you bought for $1,000 is currently getting its teeth kicked in by a desktop card from the Obama administration? Well, hold on to your power cables because the answer is going to make you want to throw your PC out the window. By the end of this, I'm going to tell you which NVIDIA card was such a fundamental, absolute fraud that NVIDIA literally had to unlaunch it and change its name just to trick you into buying it. We start with the prehistoric legacy era. This was the age of the GT series. Think of these like a bicycle with a rusty basket on the front. They weren't built for speed, they were built because some CPUs back then were too lazy to have their own graphics, and you needed a way to see your desktop without the PC having a stroke. If you're still rocking a GT 710 in 2026, you aren't gaming, you're performing a digital seance. Trying to play a modern AAA game on a GT card is like trying to win a Formula One race on a unicycle. It's not budget, it's a cry for help. Then came 2016, the era of the untouchable king. This was the GTX 10 series, Pascal, and it was the V8 muscle car of the GPU world. The GTX 1080 Ti was so disgustingly, monstrously good that AMD spent 3 straight years crying in a dark corner because they couldn't even touch its shadow. But do you remember the pain? RAM prices were so high they were basically in orbit. You had to choose between 16 gigabytes of DDR4 or eating dinner for a month. This was the last era of raw, unga-bunga power before the AI started cheating for us. But then, NVIDIA got bored of winning fairly and decided to learn black magic. Enter the hybrid revolution, RTX 20 and 30. The 20 series was basically NVIDIA asking you to pay $1,200 to be an unpaid intern for a ray tracing feature that barely worked. It was a first-gen electric car. Cool, but it would run out of juice the second you turned on the headlights. Then the 30 series dropped and the crypto Hunger Games began. This was the dark age where gamers and miners were fighting in the streets over a 3080 while AI was officially taking over. This is when we got DLSS, the ultimate cheat code. The GPU stopped working harder and started working smarter by using its AI brain to guess what the pixels should look like. It's like a student who's so good at cheating they accidentally get a PhD. AMD tried to keep up, but they were playing checkers while NVIDIA was playing 4D chess in a leather jacket. Next, we hit the era of the industrial brick, RTX 40 series. The RTX 4090 isn't a graphics card, it's a monster truck that requires its own zip code and a power connector that occasionally likes to perform a self-immolation ceremony if you don't plug it in exactly right. This era gave us frame generation, where the GPU isn't even drawing half your frames anymore, it's just hallucinating them into existence. It's like a movie projector that inserts extra scenes while you aren't looking just to make the motion look liquid. Your CPU is now the one crying out of jealousy because it's officially the bottleneck of the century. And finally, welcome to the age of the neural overlord. The RTX 50 series Blackwell has arrived, and it's a spaceship with an AI pilot. We've moved past graphics into neural rendering. The RTX 5090 is so smart it can generate 3 AI frames for every 1 real frame. It doesn't just render your game, it basically predicts your soul. AMD has officially pivoted to the mid-range because trying to race a 5090 is like trying to race a fighter jet with a lawnmower. If your GPU isn't basically a sentient AI brain by now, you're living in the Stone Age. Now, back to that question. Each card was such a disaster they had to lie about its name. It was the RTX 4080 12 gigabytes. It was so overpriced and underpowered that the community backlash was nuclear. NVIDIA unlaunched it, hid it in a warehouse for a few months, and rebranded it as the RTX 4070 Ti just to hide the shame. So remember, bigger number equals better? Only if you enjoy being lied to by a guy who owns more leather jackets than you own Steam games.